because we're in a waiting game.
Yeah. And
a Southern Kentucky family asking for prayers tonight. They say a loved one has been diagnosed with Legionnaire's disease.
A snake anti-venom here at the Kentucky Reptile Zoo was taken all the way to Michigan to help a man who was bitten. Why? Coming up.
Another high school football season has kicked off. We traveled all over the Bluegrass tonight to get you all the highlights.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening. They say he went to the hospital with flu-like symptoms, but tonight the family of a Laurel County man says he's been diagnosed with Legionnaire's disease.
The 28-year-old is now recovering at a hospital in London. Kristen Kennedy talked to his family. It's our top story at 11.
When Don Gilbert took his son Chris to St. Joseph, London, he was hoping they would be able to treat his flu-like symptoms.
just aches, sick.
Doctors instead diagnosed him with Legionnaire's disease. He was on a respirator the next day.
His breathing had dropped to almost extreme panting.
The Center for Disease Control and Prevention numbers show anywhere from 8,000 to 18,000 Americans hospitalized with the disease each year. The CDC calls the serious, rare lung infection a severe form of pneumonia.
As soon as he can show real good on holding his own on oxygen, they're going to wean him off the ventilator, and once they do that, then it should just be a few days before we can take him home.
Leaders here at St. Joseph won't confirm the case, citing patient privacy. They also won't go into any detail about how serious these cases can be.
Being a mommy, I want to be right there beside him. Can't do it.
Gilbert's mother asks for prayers.
Because we're in a waiting game.
Yeah.
That's all we can do.
In Laurel County, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Well, Gilbert's family isn't sure how he contracted the disease. They say he travels around the state often. Neither the CDC or state health leaders have returned our calls tonight about this case. Now, here's some information about Legionnaire's disease. According to the CDC, it's caused by Legionella bacteria found naturally in the environment, usually in warm water. The CDC says the bacteria is not transmitted from person to person. People get the disease when they breathe in a mist or vapor that has been contaminated with the bacteria. We have more information for you on WKYT.com.
He was hired to clean windows, but instead, Richmond police say a man stole from his customers. They say that while working as a window washer at Ace Hardware, 33-year-old David Green went inside the store and stole 15 pocket knives. Employees didn't catch it at the time, but police caught Green when they say he tried to steal another knife from the store a few days later.
He was a laborer going around washing windows, and of course, you know, a lot of businesses thought he was legit, but it was apparently that he's not.
Richmond police say Green also stole thousands of dollars in jewelry from a woman's home after she hired him to wash windows. And they say he was caught on surveillance video stealing a ring from Merle Norman.
Tonight, Senator Rand Paul joined Republican candidate for governor Matt Bevin for a rally. The two met in front of dozens of supporters in Somerset. Senator Paul said it's time for a Republican governor in Kentucky. He said Bevin will make sure businesses start choosing Kentucky instead of neighboring states. Tomorrow, Kentucky's Republican Central Committee will vote on a possible caucus for next March. It would allow Senator Paul to run for both president and U.S. Senate.
A man bitten by an unusual snake in Michigan received some emergency help from right here in central Kentucky. Emergency crews say his pet African bush viper bit him. So with time running out to save him, they turned to the Kentucky Reptile Zoo in Powell County for help. As Garrett Weimer tells us, it involved a special flight.
When the flight landed in Montgomery County, the pilot didn't waste any time getting what he needed and getting back in the air.
It can be very difficult to have appropriate medicine to treat a snake bite when the snake originates in Africa and you're in Michigan.
Curator Kristen Wiley says a doctor in Grand Rapids called them when a Michigan man was bitten by his pet African bush viper.
This is the South African, it's called Echis or saw-scaled viper antivenom.
Wiley says there's no specific antivenom for bush vipers, but the serum from saw-scaled vipers has helped with those bites before.
There's similarity in the components in the venom between the two kinds of snakes. So this is, of course, antibodies against the toxins in the venom from the saw-scaled vipers. So if the toxin in the bush viper is somewhat similar, then there's a good chance that the antibody will work to neutralize that as well.
The zoo here keeps the saw-scale viper anti-venom because they have saw-scale vipers here. Wiley says the snake's venom is used in a lot of medical research. But you won't find the anti-venom from this exotic snake on any store shelves. Wiley says it comes from South Africa, and the Kentucky Reptile Zoo was the closest place that had it. In Powell County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
A TV station in Grand Rapids tells us the hospital would not say how the patient responded to the treatment. And new tonight, firefighters trying to figure out what caused a tractor trailer to catch fire along Interstate 75 in Laurel County. It happened in the northbound lanes just north of London. State police say that no one was injured in the fire. Firefighters say the truck was hauling coal. The fire slowed down traffic for a few hours while firefighters put out the fire and investigated.
New tonight, the University of Kentucky Opera Theater says a thief stole its banner advertising an upcoming performance of South Pacific. In a Facebook post, the theater says UK police have been contacted. As a reward, the theater is offering the person who finds that banner 2 tickets to South Pacific's opening night. WKYT is joining forces with Lexington's 3 other commercial television stations to help the United Way of the Bluegrass. A Night to Unite showcases the United Way's goal to help 10,000 more families in the Bluegrass become self-sufficient by 2020. All 4 stations work together to produce the television special. A Night to Unite airs at 7 Saturday night on WKYT, WDKY, WLEX, and WTVQ.
This was a night to honor those who care. Amber and I were MCs tonight at the Baptist Health Foundation holding its inaugural Celebration of Care event at the Keeneland Entertainment Center.
Kentucky First Lady Jane Beshear, Lexington OBGYN Dr. Randy Owen, and social worker Holly Rollins were honored for their efforts to improve the health of women and children statewide.
Without their contribution every day to what they do, our hospital wouldn't be what it is.
Proceeds from tonight's event went to the new Women's and Children's Center at Baptist Health Lexington.